What's up, Starcraft fans? It is Monday, 2 AM and it's time for the weekly mutation. This week we have Survival of the Fittest on Void Thrashing with Barrier and Transmutation. I am playing this time as Artanis. We'll do Toxic Tyrant because that's, the Earth Splitty one. We'll go Labor and Super Imperial Support so that I'll have a lot of mandate. We'll go with Terrible Damage so that my Earth Splitters do more damage and Contaminate Strike. And finally, Imperial Mandate since I want the fast Earth Splitter. Go on the solo key. Wish me luck. Thank you to Mattis Diaz who are supporting me the mobilization wave tier, and Darth, Lucenus, Appearance, Shadowakon who are supporting the post cannon tier. Thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. So Brian, let's hear. I actually closed it. Let me see. Brian. No, not that one. Brian. Yeah, do that.
Void Thrashing is the map where we have to destroy 10 Void Thrashers before they destroy
Why are we
Sergeant Hammer's
shouting?
completely useless fortress. Each set we destroy reveals the next, unless we take too long and they spawn anyway. Enemies gain a 100 health shield upon first taking damage, and sometimes they transform when they deal damage. They always transform when they destroy your units.
So yeah, I don't want to let anyone destroy my stuff because that will trigger Transmutation. And even when... I gotta build another bunker. Actually, why not build it where my guys are? There we go. Alright. Okay, let's start this. Then double build. Alright, I think this is enough. Let's gather up some... Oh, hey. Stop that. Start this command center, or this enlistment center. And... there we go. We'll start it right away. Have these guys gather this. Add this, then this. We're gonna rush Earth Splitters here. And I know I'm saying a lot of this and not being very descriptive, but I apologize, but it's in the interest of actually being able to play competently. Because I still need to win this game, Okay. Send these guys here to the abyss. Get this thing. This. We'll see what we're up against in a few moments. Very soon even, actually. Alright. We'll see if we're up against a 3-minute wave or 4-minute wave. Looks like it is a 4-minute wave. That's good. The 3-minute wave usually gets announced before 3 minutes, or before 3 minutes and 8 seconds, or rather I should say that the 3-minute wave gets announced before 3 minutes and 8 seconds. So we passed that, which means we're against pattern B, which is fine. That's good. Pattern B is good. We're all okay with pattern B. Okay. Get the Earth Split upgrade. Ally is Nova. Oh, Nova. Infiltration specialist. Oh, this is good. Okay, let's get some guys in here. Right. Let's get... okay, got some guys there. Get another bunker over here. Okay, make sure this thing stays alive. Oh, that was fantastic timing with my ally. Look, did you see that? I think he blasted all those enemies. Okay, enemy is Protoss, a Robo. Okay, destroy this. This is fine. Get a couple, I was not paying attention. I probably should have not lost anyone. Okay. Get more of these things.
Looks like we got several risks to deal
Okay.
What else would I do?
All right.
We're the higher authority. This is the home
Get
front
more
now.
Earth Splitties.
I'm complying. My dominion.
Splitty Warberman Jensen! He was #1!
This could go bad.
I'm pretty sure y'all get that reference. You can pretend, but
Right or
there's no use lying. You all know that reference. You all get that reference.
we're
Come
the
on.
higher authority.
There's no way you don't get that
You know what's
reference.
best? I can just guess I'm on your list.
We're gonna destroy all these enemies. Make them look foolish. Actually, just start smashing all these guys. Yeah.
I'm on your list.
I have a minute before the next wave arrives. Let's drop a bunker here.
We're the higher authority.
Okay.
This is the home front now.
Yeah, just make all this stuff look silly.
We're
The 8-minute wave arrives here-ish. Okay, yeah, just destroy this stuff. We're gonna launch our
the home front now.
contaminated strike at 7:58,
My
which is fine for me. Uh-oh. Ah, that's lame. I'm out of energy.
Will reach us soon. I look forward to hearing your plan.
Okay. That's very lame by me. Okay. Alright, I got them anyway. That was kind of embarrassing. It's fine. Wait, am I? Oh, yeah, I am harvesting it.
You know what's best.
What am I doing wrong? Okay, now let's smash this area.
Guess I'm no traitor. We're the higher authority. I'm complying.
Just smash that area. Like it ain't no thing. I think my ally just dropped a nuke.
Activating defensive drone.
Seems legit. I think 10-minute wave will spawn around here. Let's destroy this area.
I'm no traitor.
Bringing a defensive drone online.
6, 7, 8.
None will escape
Okay.
We've got an enemy attack en route to our base.
I destroy all these mortals. Make them kind of not really what their namesake is. My ally. Destroy those Thrashers. Meanwhile, I'll just destroy the rest of these clowns.
This is the home front now.
Already using Liberators, meaning he will do a lot of damage. I'll destroy all these units. Very simple.
Sir,
This week is very simple for Arcturus Mengsk. Just make Earth Splitters, then just win. It's simple as that. It is simple as that.
Seems like we could use a heads up, commanders. That archangel is on the move.
Drop a couple of these.
Till it's under fire. Ha! Just goes to show, no piece of hardware is half as good as the
Pilot inside. Just keep smashing aim on. Next attack wave will be 14 minutes, so plenty of time. There's so much time, it's ridiculous.
Our allies are being attacked.
time to play defense.
looking for sir.
Grab these
Eyes
things.
up, our ride here.
Can't believe this hybrid's still alive.
The home front.
Kinda ludicrous. Alright, here we go.
Thrashers have arrived.
We finish off these last hybrid, then we win. Because it is that simple.
Insufficient
It is that
rescue
straightforward.
gas. Our allies are being
Okay. Last few. So here's one of those games where if my ally gets more kills than I do, yes, you can say that he played better, but in terms of carrying, I don't know. If my ally gets more kills than I, would you say that he carried? Or is it more like, oh, I GG him. Or is it more like my Earth Splitters really just made us look silly? Yeah, look, he had more kills. That's true. But like, who really did the main objective here? This is where I believe Tutu mentioned this many times in our videos. Kills are not everything. You can see, technically he had 14% more kills, but like, I mean, first of all, Dungeon Structures killed, it's like 8 difference in the real stats. I'm guessing a lot of the stuff here are, we're up against Protoss, right? So interceptors probably count separately here, and maybe stuff in production. But I think, I mean, just watch the game. Who really did the main objectives? So you see, yeah, kill count is one thing, but who really did the main objectives here? Let me know. I mean, maybe it's not who I expected. Anyway, what I expected is you guys left a lot of comments and questions last week. At Dr. Sid says after last week's mutation, or rather the previous week's mutation, that is Power Trip, he is finally convinced and switched from Vorazun Spirit of Respite Prestige to the Keeper of Shadows Prestige. Good choice. I've been saying that because you can't just replace the value of free Shadow Guard. Anytime you get free stuff, especially free heroes, you always take that option. And the first prestige, I would argue, is worse than no prestige, because you want to have the Dark Pylon Recall to help your mobility. That is one of Vorazun's best options for mobility, and you don't want to take it away by, you know, not having your Dark Pylon Recall available. But yeah, I'm glad you switched over to the free Shadow Guard side. Dr. Sin. At Kane Nikes, beat last week's mutation was his sheer chaos using P3 Stukov, and the Kerrigan used lurkers. That's pretty nice. I don't encounter Kerrigan players who use lurkers. I'm kind of jealous that you want to encounter one of those players. That's one of the pretty fun things to see. Things to worry about: clearing the hybrid spawns, making sure Gennaro has enough ground to beat the hybrid before she dies. Target firing with infested marines is a must. Yeah, I would say yes, you should target fire the hybrid, but more importantly, the dangerous units such as Vipers, Siege Tanks, High Templar, you want to target fire those because they have a lot of spells when they revive. Well, not a lot of spells, twice the number of spells, because essentially they revive. You don't want to let them get a lot of regen, so just right-click them right away to save up damage on the rest of your guys. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about the results of last week's mutation. A lot of you seem to have found your own way of beating it, so yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, Brian, please do the outro.
Thank you all for your comments. I read them all each week, including the critical ones. Please join my Discord group if you want to chat more or appear on one of my videos. Please also vote on the weekly mutation poll in the comments. If you want to help support the channel, you can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link on the top right of the screen. Any Patreon support will immediately grant you preferred status for content suggestions. And if you have any more questions, ideas, or feedback, please leave them as comments down below, and I will do my best to respond next week.
I'll see you guys next time. Alright, Cage, listen up. You commented that you managed to outkill a P2 Dahaka twice as the first Prestige Zagara on compositions that favor Dahaka. You helped do a mutation multiple times with P1 Zagara, play with an Artanis ally, twice, level 9 and level 4. Garden Shell and Shield Overcharge are so valuable. In another instance, Warzone ally had the same number of kills as you did, so statistically, we were wrong about Zagara and Artanis on the tier list. The third prestige is not good at all here. Expensive units, one hero, and limited arsenal. In the meantime, the first prestige just does not care. In his games where he outkilled the Hakas, he was up against Bailing Scourge and Ground Zerg, both super bad for Zagara as a whole. He says that he even tried at Raynor, and he is nowhere near as easy as Artanis. Stukov, we just mass bunkers, don't care about anything. So he says as a whole, the tier list isn't from the perspective of an average player, as we know, but more of one who could solo better, which kind of defeats the purpose of what this tier list is initially from the weekly votes. Footnote, P1 Zagara is the best. Okay, so Cage, let's set one thing straight. Your entire opinion of Artanis is based on how he gives Garden Shell to Zagara. This is not a fair assessment at all, because Zagara's Zerglings are just as effective half-dead as they are full health. What do I mean by that? If you have a Tychus player who gets Garden Shell, sure, he gets saved for 5 seconds. But what happens after that? He gets shot at, he dies right away. The 5 seconds that the Garden Shell afford someone like Artanis, or maybe if Garden Shell hits Kerrigan, she gets saved for 5 seconds, but after then, she gets focused down, she dies. You get Super Gary, gets Garden Shell, and then stays alive for 5 seconds, then dies. That is not a very effective spell for keeping those guys alive. You just extended their runtime before they died. Contrast that to how Garden Shell buffs stuff like Zerglings. Again, like I said, Zerglings are just as good half-dead as they are full health. Because with the Zerglings, if you buy them 5 extra seconds of invulnerable fighting, they get so much work done, and they're so cheap and easy to replace. You don't lose a whole minute of using the Zerglings. And they're basically invulnerable for the whole time and deal so much damage before they are destroyed again. And that makes Zagara so much better than without Garden Shell. And for this reason, we have mentioned many times before, Zagara's synergy with Artanis is one of the best in the entire game. So I would actually say that your opinion of Artanis being based entirely on his synergy with Zagara is very skewed and does not apply to most commanders. Even guys like Raynor, if his Marines get Garden Shell, their lives get extended. But remember that he has medics. So he also has life extension on his own without Garden Shell. So it really is just Zagara who has a unique synergy with Artanis, where Garden Shell, not even Stukov, benefits a lot from Garden Shell, by the way, because his invests don't benefit from Garden Shell. Like I said, it really is only Zagara that has this ultra unique synergy with Artanis on Garden Shell, that if your entire basis for having a good opinion of Artanis is Garden Shell, and only because you play as Zagara, that is less applicable to the majority of players for Artanis than is our opinion of guys like Stetboy, who are better all around, regardless of what the composition is, regardless of who the ally is. It's more emblematic of Stetboy's strength as a whole when we talk about him, rather than Artanis' strength as a whole, based on your opinion of how he synergizes with Zagara. It just applies to one commander. Just one commander. You can argue too with Hot and Horner, but you still get value with stuff like the Airstrikers or the air units of Hot and Horner, the Matt Horner units, that again are more similar to hero units as regards to their value from Garden Shell. It just prolongs their death. And again, like I said, it's not really indicative of Artanis' strength as a whole, when he extends Zagara's Zergling's lives than it is his synergy with Artanis. So I hope that clears that up. Artanis isn't great. He just synergizes extremely well with Zagara because he extends Zagara's Zergling's lives, and because they're so cheap, they don't require that much replacement, so Zagara gets so much more runtime with his essentially free Zerglings. So now let's move on to your second point. You said that you outkilled the allies that you had twice. So you had 2 Dahakas and Artanis ally. Yes, outkilling Artanis is not difficult at all. That's not indicative of commander strength. More importantly, you had a Vorazun ally that had the same number of kills as you. So that doesn't mean that we're statistically wrong about Zagara or Artanis. It means that you don't understand that Artanis' Garden Shell just synergizes incredibly well with Zagara, that it skews your opinion of how he synergizes with all the other commanders. And just because you outkilled someone doesn't mean you carried more of the load. Like, remember that game you just watched? The Nova ally had more kills than I did. But like, who did the work? Who did the main objective? Come on. You can't just base your opinion on, like, stuff like kills. And I saw that on Discord, you had a pretty lengthy discussion with Tutu, even down the comment section, where he explained that our opinions based on how our experience with playing every commander extrapolates over different compositions and different allies. We can't account for who your ally is and how good they are because we can't really expect everyone to have the same experience with allies. That's why it's actually better to see how well the commander can complete the mutation regardless of who your ally is. I know it's co-op, but when we're rating commanders, it's based on the commanders individually, not their synergy with other commanders. And furthermore, when you link that replay of Bao marketing, where you outkilled the Dahaka, I checked out the actual result, and you had like 12% more kills than your ally. It's not really that big. Like, it's not at all that big. It's kind of close actually. And if you're saying that you outkilled your ally, I would say it's close. Like, that's relatively close contribution for both of you. And I wouldn't say that you outkilled him, meaning you carried him. I don't think so. That means that you roughly had a similar contribution kills wise. I mean, yes, you had more kills, but let's drill down a little bit on how that came to be. So first, this is the 7-minute wave of that replay. So in this wave, you can see your Banelings colliding with... Let me see if my mouse can show up here. Oh no, unfortunately my mouse didn't show up. But you can see on the left side of the screen, you see a bunch of dead Zerglings with the green goo, the green acid of the Baneling explosions. And you have Dahaka on the bottom of the screenshot devouring a Viper. You understand what this means? It means that you got a lot of free kills by crashing your Banelings against Zerglings that Dahaka can also do. And you were not able to deal with these Vipers. Dahaka did. And in a wave like this, carrying means destroying the difficult units that are actually annoying to deal with, like the Vipers, not the Zerglings. For both of these commanders, the Zerglings are essentially free. Dahaka stomps on them and then just devours that Viper to use the magic fart to destroy all those Zerglings. Zagara can also destroy those Zerglings using her Banelings. When you get those kills, not your ally, it doesn't mean that your commander is better or that you played better. It just means that you're better that you are faster to connect with those kills because your units are faster. That doesn't mean you carried in this fight. It just means that you got there first. It means that you essentially stole those kills from Dahaka, which is not a bad thing in itself. Context. Kill stealing in this case is not a bad thing. It just means that your units are faster, they got there. But Even if units weren't there, Dehaka would have gotten them anyway with the magic fart and by stomping on them. That's what I mean. So the bottom line here is you got so many more kills here compared to your ally because your Balins connect faster. Not because Dehaka couldn't handle it, but notice the more important units to destroy here, the Vipers, are the ones that Dehaka devoured. He got 2 kills out of it, maybe a few more with these aberrations, but the bulk of the kills went to you just because your Balins connected faster. Again, that's not indicative of Commander's strength. That just means that you got to those kills faster than Dehaka, who again would have gotten those same kills anyway. You just stole them from him. Again, not a bad thing in this context. It just means that you got there first, and it just means that it's not Commander's strength. It's just Commander kill stealing. This is the next screenshot. So this is the first hybrid wave at 9 minutes. So you can see that all the Balings are gone, or all the Zerglings are gone. Again, you destroy all those all those little Zerg units with your Balings, and again, that's fair. You got a lot of kills there. But notice here, Dehaka devoured the Viper. You can see that glitch thing when Dehaka devours that Viper, and then he uses Mervar here, which casts Disabling Cloud on all of Amon's forces, rendering them unable to attack. So those dangerous aberrations, those hybrids, can't really do anything because they're stuck. And that gives your Zerglings free reign to destroy them all. Now imagine if Mervar weren't here. You would lose your entire army. Plain and simple. So who really carried who here? Yes, you got more kills, but that's just because your Balings are faster. That didn't mean you play better. That did mean your commanders were stronger. Because, again, even if he hadn't been part of this fight, Mervar would have completely cleaned this up regardless. Your commander isn't stronger because Dehaka couldn't do it. Your commander just got the kills faster. You just stole, quote unquote, again, not a bad thing in this context. I'm just explaining. Your commander just stole the kills, so you got the stats. But if you analyze it more deeply, it was an equal contribution. But I would lean more toward Ball Marketing, who, by the way, look at his face there. Ball Marketing carried this fight because he dealt with the dangerous units, not you. Next screenshot. What were both commanders doing here? So you are powering up in your base, which is completely fair. Again, that's just something that Zagara has to do. But what's happening in the meantime? Dehaka is dealing with this dangerous space. This is the most dangerous space in the game. Let me actually remove my... let me see if I can redo this. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see the minimap. So this base in the middle of the map is the most difficult base, or it's the most difficult base to attack in the game. It's the center map. It's the most heavily defended one. But notice the units here are all double life. So Dehaka has to kill them twice just to get rid of them. Yes, he does get a lot of kills here. But what happens next? An attack wave comes. You can see the attack wave comes to your side. And notice there are no more Zerglings and Aberrations. Your Balins took care of them. Again, very good job on that. But what are the dangerous units here? The Swarm Hosts. And notice they are still alive because you didn't have detection at this point. Again, Zagara has to make detection. And even if you did, I didn't see because it was not in Baal Marketing's screen at the time. Even if you did make detection, they probably would have died to Scourge. But you know what else? But you know what happens when Amon sends Scourge at Dehaka? He doesn't care. Because even if he loses Dehaka there at that point, he might have. If Dehaka has gone pretty big at this point. Even if Baal Marketing loses Dehaka, he can still summon a Primal here. You can see the top bar. He has one Primal available, which the Scourge cannot snipe and will provide detection here. Again, it means Dehaka's detection is better in this case, which is better against his competition. So Dehaka is just straight up better in this case. Yes, you got more kills, but again, because your Balin is connected with easy to kill numerous Zerglings, you get the stats. But who's really cleaning up the dangerous units here? It's Dehaka. And again, moving on here. So check out the minimap on the bottom left. while Dahaka was out here destroying these enemy bases with the more dangerous units. Again, these were the hardest parts of the game. The 7-minute wave, the middle base, and the last base. I mean, aside from the hybrid. These were the hardest parts of the game, and you were trying to clear them before 20 minutes because you don't want aberrations to spawn. And where was your army? They were at the main, quote-unquote, main base of the enemy. The one where the laser drill usually spawns. You can see it's to the southeast of the main objective, or of the bonus objective. That's a good place to be. You are not playing wrong here. I would also recommend that you play that way. You're absolutely playing right here. But what happens here? Your Zerglings and Bangs were connecting with larvae and with the dudelings that spawn from Zerg enemy buildings when you destroy them. Again, you were getting free kills. You were farming kills, which I would say are more empty calories than they are indicative of commander strength. Because who's really dealing with the dangerous units here? It's the Haka. He's carrying this game, I would say, a little bit, not heavily. Of course, you were really contributing here. You're playing well. You're playing competently. You're destroying bases. You're spamming stuff. In fact, let's go back a few frames. You're playing your heart out. 198 APM. Very good play from you. It's just that when we really examine who's carrying who, Dahaka was just taking on tougher assignments. Again, he destroyed the difficult units on the 7-minute wave. He took on the hardest base. He's taking on the second hardest base. He took out the dangerous units in the first hybrid wave. He's doing all the hard stuff. You're cleaning up. Again, you're doing well, but your commander is cleaning up the easy to kill stuff and just so happens to be destroying free Zerglings, which is giving you the stats and gives you the illusion of doing more work than your ally. You are not. You are getting free kills. Your ally is destroying all the difficult bases. And here we have again another screenshot showing you your Zerglings destroying these free buildings to the south. And what do these free buildings do? They spawn aberrations, yes, at 20 minutes, but it's not just 20 minutes. But what do? When they get destroyed, they spawn 6 free dudelings each. Again, free kills for you. So again, more farming, more stats, more empty calories. But is this base difficult? No. The Haka can easily do this if he wanted to. You just got there first because your units are faster. But that doesn't mean the Haka can't do this. It just means that you got there first. It's not indicative of commander strength. It just indicates that you got the kill steal. Again, another screenshot. Let me actually show my face so you can look at my eye. Look me in the eyes while I'm saying this. Look at the screenshot. So this is right before our engagement. So the time is 2017. The next frame, you crash into the Zerglings. Wait a minute, I think I missed a screenshot here. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So look above the rocks here. Above Janara are a bunch of Banelings that you own, and they're about to crash into these Zerglings. So you get more stats. Look, that's probably like 15 Zerglings in there. 15 kills for you. So in this shot, those guys are already dead. By the time the Hawk gets here, he devours the Viper. Because this is the animation where the Hawk devours the Viper. He takes care of the aberrations, as you can see here, with the Tyrannosaurus and the Viper. Yes, you got the stats, but who did the dangerous work? Who did the hard work here? Who killed the more important units? The Haka did. So, again, you might get more kills here, but really, who carried who? I think the evidence is clear. More screenshots. So this is right before the third wave, the third hybrid wave spawns. You are camping. Oh, let me get out of the way of the screenshots so you can see the minimap. There we go. Look at the minimap where my camera was. So your units are camping where the third hybrid type will spawn. Again, you're playing well here. I'm not saying you didn't play well. I'm saying that your stats are a result of spawn camping and farming easy kills. They're not a result of actually carrying the map. Look, this is just after your Zerglings and Banelings collided with the low value Zerglings to spawn. Again, you farm so many kills here. But what's left? Look, the 2 big hybrids, Scourge, Vipers, Mutalisks, and who deals with them? Dehaka does. It's so obvious. I mean, again, you have Abrahus here, you have Zergins, that's true. But like, those guys don't shoot up. The Tyrannos versus Dehaka are the ones who have to deal with the Mutalisks and the Vipers and this air hybrid. Look, you're actually already running back. Dehaka's dealing with the dangerous units, not Zagara. So, I hope this lesson is clear. I know, I'm not refuting that she outkilled your ally. I mean, the stats here are very clear. Yes, you did. But aside from the fact that the kill difference wasn't that big to begin with, look at the timing here. This is probably my final point. Zoom in on this little timing window right here. Look at the kill count right around 21 minutes. This is just before the 3rd hybrid wave spawn. It's even! You're claiming that you outkilled your ally, whereas if you drill down on the actual stats, you were basically even until you spawn camped and stole all those Zerglin kills in the 3rd and 4th hybrid spawns. Your commander wasn't better. You were just farming easy Zerglin kills. Meanwhile, Dehaka was taking care of all the dangerous stuff. He carried you. Stop with this. Stop with this nonsense about Zagara being so much better just because she can farm easy kills. Stop it. You were tied at 21 minutes just before the 3rd and 4th hybrid spawns. Look at the time. This is where you gained all your difference. You just farmed easy Zerglin kills. Dehaka took care of all the dangerous stuff. You got carried. See you next time.